Alright, it's time to talk about Blue Lock chapter 311. I'm kind of late doing this chapter review, but my internet was out for a few days, so kind of bear with me. We take the L's, but anyways, we keep pushing. So this chapter starts with 1 day until the under 20 World Cup. We have everyone training in Blue Lock training room. We have Raichi here, we have Yuki Mio, we have Nanase, we have Raichi going saying counter, it's time for the counter, moving back. We got Ego watching, and then we have Hiyori doing his signature pass to Isagi, getting a goal for their training match. You just have Chiguru here just glazing him. So the clean finish by Isagi here. And look at Nico, man. He didn't even know what was happening, man. Nico's like, Nani, bro?
That's rough, buddy.
But even though it looked like Hiyori was cooking, Isagi told us, man, like, bro, you were moving a beat too slow. If we can't make that cross with quicker timing, it'll just get blocked by the world's top players. So, you know, we knew in the previous chapters that Isagi was going around the world watching pro matches. So yeah, his level of play has started to develop. And a really interesting thing with this moment here is it parallels who? Sai Itoshi. That was something he was always telling to Rin when he was younger. So there's a clear parallel there. Kaneshiro did tell us that Sai and Isagi will be teaming up. Again, there's a lot of parallels between these two players' play styles, and it's kind of just a way for Kaneshiro to kind of slowly start to shoehorn Hiyori out of his role as Isagi's best passer, as it will become Sai Itoshi later on in this under 20 World Cup arc. But now we have the most controversial moment in this chapter, which is when Karasu starts defending Hiyori, saying that Isagi's asking for too much of him, and then Isagi gives him the look and says, what kind of tepid crap is that? We're trying to win, right? What's wrong with comparing us to that ideal? And Hiyori doesn't really care too much. He's like, you know, I guess he has a plan, but Karazu's like, you could have said it better, and they start getting ready to fight. So now a lot of people are like, who's in the right here? I don't really think it matters. I think what really matters here is that the story is portraying that, you know, Isagi kind of might have took it too far. You know, there's Isagi fans that are like going crazy defending him, saying Isagi didn't do anything wrong. There's people going around saying that Karazu's a hypocrite, especially with the way Karasu was treating Isagi in the third selection, basically saying that Isagi's like the weakest member on the team and he's just gonna prey on him. So, you know, Karasu doesn't really have the right to be talking crazy here right now. But again, it doesn't really matter. The story is portraying it as Isagi is getting a really insane ego right now, just kind of being kind of full of himself. Like Rin even calls him out and says, you must think you've become the nucleus of this team and that everything will go your way. Save it for when you've totally beaten me. You want to be Demon King. So we're gonna see how all of this plays out. You know, maybe Isagi really does start to go off the deep end, because Kaneshiro did say, will you still be able to love Isagi in the future? So he really might start isolating himself later on in this arc. We'll see how this plays out. But yeah, I can't really blame Isagi too much for what he's saying, because yeah, there's nothing really that wrong with trying to compare their current selves to their ideal, because, you know, they're trying to win the World Cup. The under 20 World Cup is not the end for them. They're trying to win the World Cup, be the greatest in the world. You know, I guess Isagi could have said it a little bit differently. I could have said it a little bit nicer, but really at the end of the day, man, everyone in Blue Lock tweaked out. So, you know, Karasu, he's just gonna have to accept it. Like, he got a little pressured because, you know, his boyfriend was getting slandered, so Karasu had to step in. Karasu gonna have to hold, basically. But again, we'll see how this all plays out. And then we have Barasuta coming in with his greedy ass saying, my lumps of talent, what's going on? I'm trying to make some money, some moolah, man. He's here with some agenda to push, and he tells the Blue Lockers that the number of representatives for the under 20 World Cup isn't 23, it's 26, and he gets to fill those last 3 slots. And he tells them that Sai Itoshi will be joining them after the group stage. And then we have Rin here just freaking out, like Sai will be here. It's kind of funny though, people are expecting Shido to have like a massive reaction, but Shido just has like a straight face throughout all of this. Like, he does not care about Sai no more. Yeah, basically what Barasuta is calling it is he's holding Blue Lock Japan's last 2 survival selection, and he calls it Side B. So he's basically using this as like a money laundering scheme to get some views. And look what we have here. Guess who is a part of this? Shocker, Kira is a part of this. Like, I can't believe there are actually people that are going around saying Kira wouldn't come back. Like, let's be so for real with ourselves. This is Kaneshiro. It is the most Kaneshiro thing of all time to try to bring back Kira. Like, let's be so real, especially when Mr. Tanuki man was talking about his whole ideology of wanting to go against Ego's beliefs. Who wanted to go against Ego's beliefs? Kira. But people were insulting out of like Kira wasn't gonna come back. Nah, man, it would not make no sense for Kira to come back. Let's be so serious, man. Like, let's think with our heads. Let's have the cognitive shift to understand that Kira coming back was so obvious. Now, will he actually do anything? We'll see. But again, knowing Kaneshiro, Kira will probably get some playtime. But yeah, Bartasuta then goes on to say, well, I plan on timing it so side B's winners will be determined around the same time as the finals. That means we'll have some big news for the world to coincide with Saitoshi joining the team. So he's maximizing on the hype. You know, I can't hate the business play, man. He kind of cooking. And then he has the aura farming moment where he tells Blue Lock, so make it to the finals even if it kills you. So again, guarantees that Blue Lock will be making it past the group stage, but we all knew this. This is kind of obvious. People that were saying Blue Lock wasn't, I feel like they're kind of insane. Never bet on anything in your lives if you ever thought that. Like, please don't. After that, you have Isagi basically being like the insert of the reader, stressing about Blue Lock, stressing about the stakes, the tone inconsistencies, and Ego is basically the insert of the author saying, you know, it will be fine. I won't be using Kira. Anyone that was eliminated from Blue Lock, I won't be using them. That includes Nagi, even though I don't think he is joining Blue Lock side B, but I will get into that later. But basically, Ego goes to tell them that if they lose the Under 20 World Cup, Ego is basically fired, he's screwed, and Blue Lock is over, which again is more reasons for why I believe that Blue Lock will win the Under 20 World Cup, because there's just too much at stake for Blue Lock to lose here. Like, if Blue Lock loses the Under 20 World Cup, they are finished. Owarida. Ego then goes on to have an aura farming moment where he says, I won't hand you guys over to anyone. And then you have the eyes, man. He's locked in. And then we have the announcement for the starting lineup. So that's going to be hype to see in the next chapter. And then the chapter pretty much ends with like everyone around in the stadium looking at all the screenings of Isagi, Rin, Shido. You have the kid that was a fan of Isagi walking around with his parents, and then you just have Nagi going to the stadium. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not the actual side B facility. I'm pretty sure this is like the actual stadium for the Under 20 World Cup first match. So that is why I don't think that Nagi is going to be going into the side B thing. If Nagi was joining Blue Lock side B and was trying to get his way back into the main Blue Lock crew, then I think it would have been revealed already when Bartasuta was showing them all of the people a part of Blue Lock side B. So I feel like it's pretty obvious here that Nagi won't be trying to get back into Blue Lock. He's just gonna go the pro player route, which again makes me really annoyed with the previous chapters, with the fact that we never really got a full in-depth look at the training that the Blue Lockers are doing. Because if Nagi wasn't going to try to get his way back into Blue Lock and really was just going to go with the pro route, which isn't a bad plot line, then why do we just spend so much time on this Nagi plot instead of spending time on the Nagi plot? We're also getting to see the Blue Lockers train instead of just shoehorning it into flashbacks, which messes up the pacing of the story. But again, we'll see what Kaneshiro cooks up, but I'm a bit slightly annoyed by that. But again, we'll see how everything plays out. But yeah, kind of a shorter video. It's not really too much to talk about here. One thing I've been hearing people say is that because of that line of Ego saying he won't use Kira, he's gonna do the same thing for Sai Itoshi. He's gonna put him on the bench, which I don't see that happening. Like, let's be real. Ego is not benching Sai unless Sai does something absolutely foolish on the pitch, which might happen during the match against Spain. But again, we'll see. I don't think that Ego is going to be benching Sai. That theory I don't think is gonna be cooking. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this chapter. Again, not really too much to talk about, pretty straightforward. But again, we'll see once again how things play out. I've been saying that for a lot of this video. We have to really see how things play out here. I think once we see how this first match plays out, that will kind of give us a vibe on how this entire arc is going to be handled. But yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, how you think this Under 20 World Cup is going to play out. What are your thoughts on Kira coming back to Blue Lock? Do you think he's going to actually play in a match, or just going to be a water boy the entire time? And with that, I'll see you all in the comments down below, and leave a like to support the video.
Now, if you're someone that stuck around to the end of the video, the honey will be poured on you. If you want to talk to me about anime related topics, check out my Discord server and follow me on Twitter. Also consider becoming a channel member, another way to support me, and I support you back with shoutouts and videos, early access to new uploads, custom emotes, and members only content depending on what level of membership you decide to choose. On this channel, I discuss whether something deserves a W or an L, so if you're someone that enjoys content that keeps it real, consider subscribing to change this channel from local to global. Now, I gotta get back in the kitchen to cook. Peace.